John Yost here at YostSurvivalSkills.com. One of my subscribers asked if I would show you guys how to make little plugs at the end of your bow drill so you can use shorter sticks on your bow drill. So I want to do that for you today. Alright, this is what we're going to make. This thing right here. This is a stick about maybe 10 inches long. Let's take a look at what we got. First of all, I've got this stick right here, which is the yucca. It came from a tree like this. This is yucca, of course, right here. And this one is a nice straight piece right there. The nice thing about yucca is it usually does come out nice and straight. It's got a lot of pith in it. You can see that pith at each end right there. So you're going to end up with just a really small a really thin edge right there. But to take a closer look at this, we got a sinew wrap down here, the hollowed out inside of this, and I just used my knife for that. Just spun my knife in there. So what I've done at this end is I put in a hardwood plug. That I just drilled a short hole, about like that deep, maybe a ½ inch deep, and then I just put that end in and I pushed it down as hard as I could until it stopped. And then I sharpened up that point a little bit. It seats in there so that when we use our hand hold on it, that we don't burn through and wear through the actual yucca. So that holds it right there. And this is, I don't know what kind of wood this is. I think it's mule fat. But the working end of this also has some sinew wrap on it. Right there you can see that sinew wrap. And then at the end I have a little basswood plug. And that basswood plug is tiny. So if you find a stick that's all crooked, or if you've used up your bow drill or your hand drill and you can't use it anymore, you can use just a little end of it. This is a great idea. I got lucky and thought of this. Look at that stick. There's no way that you'd be able to use that for anything on a normal day. But if you take a look at this, we've got two good sections of it. We've got a really good section from here to here. We've got another great section from here to here. So both of these we can make little fire plugs out of. And we can make little sticks like this. Okay. Now this stick right here is especially short because I've already used it. Now you're going to have to be careful because if you look at the end of that, you can see that I've burnt through it a little bit. Let me see if I can get the camera to focus on it. There, you can see that I've burnt through that a little bit. And that's because my stick here got so short. So you got to make this stick twice as, maybe 1.5 times as long as this one right here. Okay? So these are short coming in. But anyway, so you got this stick right here that would be totally unusable, and now we can take a little piece off of it and use it. Here's a piece that I took off of there, right there. And now this right here is ready to slide into the end of our plug. It's a little bit too big, so I'm going to thin it down a tiny bit. There we go. That ought to work. There we go. And then same thing, I'm going to try to keep this as level and straight up and down as I can because I don't want this to get crooked. If this comes off and starts to canter like that, or canter that way, we don't want that. We want it to be nice and straight. And that really kind of is the hardest part about this. And I push it in there really hard because I've got the sinew here. And you can, if you don't have sinew, you can use some other kind of cordage. And I'm pushing really hard. You can't tell on camera, but I'm cranking that baby down. This is ready to go, and let's see if we can start a fire with it. Alright, one thing that's really important on this, it's a little different than regular bow drill, is if you see down here, I'm pretty high up off there. I've got to stay away from that sinew, so I'm coming up a little bit higher than I normally would. Usually I'd put my string down here, but I can't do that because of the sinew. So just keep that in mind, that you got to keep it a little higher, so you have to have a little bit better control. Alright, I'm going to give this a whirl. We'll see what we got. And the tripod's in the way. But we can, I'll just do short strokes. There we got smoke. Cool. Awesome. There we go. You can definitely see that at work. Thanks, buddy. Alright, I hope you learned a lot in this little thing, and using the pieces of yucca. You got the yucca right here with the pith in the middle, and then your short, usually unusable pieces of wood, and using that to make make the fire plug. So good stuff, like really good stuff. There it is. And enjoy. Check out my website at yostsurvivalskills.com. I got more stuff on there, and seriously, if you guys have any videos you want to see, then let me know either in the comments down below or email me, because I love doing this stuff, but I feel like sometimes I'm doing it by myself on an island, because you know, I'm here in Vegas and people aren't into this here. So let me know that you're interested, and it gets me psyched up and it gets me excited to make videos for you. And I know a lot of stuff, man. I'll help you out with whatever you want. So send me a message, let me know what you want to see. Alright, I'm out. Talk to you later, my friend. I originally got this idea when I tried to make a yucca stalk into a spindle for my bow drill, and it didn't work very well. So what I did was I added this piece right here in the end, and it worked really well. So this right here went into my handhold, and that was like, oh, that's great, that's awesome. And then I thought, well, why don't I try to do the same thing down here why don't I try to do the same thing at this end? So then I did, and that's where I came up with this idea right here, to do it and put the sinew on there, because it's got to be stronger. You don't really need sinew here. I put sinew on this one simply because this was such a big stick, it started to split it. But that actually helped, because that's what gave me the idea, hey, I can reinforce it and I can use it at both ends. And so I really discovered this by accident, because before I had always been wanting to do a plug, but the problem with doing the plug was that you had to do it like a mortar and tenon, and I'm not that precise, and it's a pain in the ass, especially when you're out in the woods. I mean, you can't dick around with that. So this came as just like a huge epiphany to me when I discovered that I could do it this way. So I would highly recommend finding some yucca or something that's got, you know, a thick pith in the inside. That's all you need.